Coming for the first time to law college. In my career, I have visited several engineering colleges, then general university campuses. But for the first time, I am visiting a law college and trying to address you or interact with you. It's a great honor to me to be here this afternoon. Though Principal has mentioned that is the most controversial subject. When it's controversial, then only you debate, otherwise where is the question of debate? So democracy requires debate. Unless you debate, there is no scope for any improvement. Even a simple measure, a simple decision, a simple practice can bring a huge change. Let me have this talk in terms of say some kind of introductory words about the Commission and what is the difference between Election Commission of India and State Election Commission. Unfortunately, in our society, nobody is clear what is this Election Commissioner and State Election Commissioner. There is one officer in the state whose designation is Chief Electoral Officer, CEO. He represents Election Commission of India in different states. Election Commission of India as well as State Election Commission. Both commissions, we derive powers from the Constitution. ECI draws powers from one article, 324A, and we derive powers from another article, 215. But we are independent, autonomous, constitutional bodies. State election commissioners are not subordinate to election commission. Election commission conducts elections for the parliaments, for the legislative assemblies and legislative councils. At state election commission, we conduct elections for both rural local bodies as well as urban local bodies. Rural starting from ward member to Jilla Parishad chairman. Urban right from ward member or councillor to GHMC mayor. So this arena is different and arena of Election Commission of India is different. We have large number of constituencies. If you take wards, it will be running into lakhs. So in fact it is a very tough game to conduct elections for local bodies rather than MPs or MLAs, because number is so huge. You have to monitor every unit, and election is a very serious business, So every election is having its own sanctity at whatever level it is conducted. Our democracy is said to be the largest in the world. The second largest democracy is American democracy, but which is only 1/4 of India. You take any continent, it is 60% of India, entire continent, whether it is European, African, it is only 60% of India. Such a huge area and very, very complex, deal with so many issues, caste, religions, languages, regions, all kinds of, it's a quite diverse nation. Something having a diverse signature in the entire world. And people were surprised in 1950 when India became republic, and for the first time in 1951 and 52, first election was conducted. One great Sukumar Sen from West Bengal, senior IAS officer, was there as election commissioner, and he conducted the elections in 1951-52, and entire world was watching it in India. What is this? How can you conduct election in a country like India, which had 565 principal states, partition is over, whatever diversity we mentioned, it is there. So is it possible for these fellows to conduct elections? But to the surprise of everybody, these election commission conducted in a highly successful manner, and that success continued even till now. India is known for conducting elections in the entire world. We are role model election commission for the entire world. The Hillary Clinton said it's a gold medal, election for India. Whenever India conducts elections, general elections, from various countries, delegations will come and watch how we conduct the elections. The greatness is, beauty of this election is, in our country, commission will see that nobody is left out. We go to hills, mountains, rivers, islands, forests. We ensure that nobody is left out. We travel by different means. Let it be tractor or cart or camel or elephant. You name it, we travel to reach the interior village where eligible voters are. Even we deploy helicopters. I don't know if you recollect in combined Andhra Pradesh, when Naxalite movement was very, very active in 70s and 80s, it is not possible to reach the polling station by the polling parties and other officials connected with officials. Then we used to airdrop, because those days I was collector and joint collector. We used to identify such places and airdrop the polling personnel along with the materials, and we used to pick them up, and we should complete the elections. Our elections are well known. We conduct elections in a very systematic manner, and so our objective is to conduct error-free elections. Normally, the government employees, the bureaucracy or government servant in India have a very bad name. We say that they are corrupt, they are lazy, they are inefficient. But once election is announced, election is notified, they all work under election commission, and they conduct the election with so much dedication that nobody is questioned. Because such a mahal has been created over a period of time, because any deviation involves disciplinary action, very serious action, and Election Commission of India or State Election Commission. When I mention commission, please understand it is both. Whether ECI or State Commission, both have same powers, and almost the business is same. Only the territorial constancies, they vary, but the entire process, business is same. The Election Commission of India, State Commission, is so powerful because we are blessed with a brilliant constitution. At the federal level, if you want to remove Chief Election Commissioner, then impeachment is the only way. They have a status of Supreme Court judge. As State Election Commissioner of a state, my state is High Court judge. I can be removed by only impeachment. Governor has the power in consultation with the Council of Ministers of the state only to appoint State Election Commissioner, and President of India has the power to appoint Chief Election Commissioner and other commissioners, but they don't have power to remove. So that has vested with so much power with the Election Commissioner. And if you want to we quote the example, I'll quote extreme example in Uttar Pradesh once. The ECA has transferred Chief Secretary, the DGP of the state, and also Home Secretary. All three top bureaucrats were transferred in one go because such circumstances were prevailing, and such magnitude of complaints were there at that point of time. Transferring collectors, SPs, officials on complaints and inquiries is very, very common. And there are certain rules of the game. If one collector who is known as district election officer, when election is notified, if he has already served or if she has served already 3 years in the district, they are not eligible to continue once election is notified. Even SPs also. That's why generally governments on their own, before general elections take place. Now it's going to happen next 1 or 2 months in our state also. Because general elections are due in November, December, this government will be transferring all those collectors who have completed 3 years. And all those collectors who have conducted even one by-election during their time. For example, Huzurabad, one collector might have conducted election. In Nalgonda, another constituency, one collector might have conducted election. They will be shifted. So there are certain things which are laid down as a matter of policy, as a matter of principle, so that there is no scope given to any party to point out the fingers. And powers of the commission are so supreme, that's why every government servant will work under the umbrella of election once the election is notified. All said and done, perception is very important. More than legal issues, constitution, the provisions, etc. What is the common perception of a common man, common citizen, common voter in our country or in our state? You may be finding that after election, somebody becomes CM, he has won the election. Who was CM, he is defeated. The CM elected and defeated man both sit together with a smiling face and they shake hands. They don't blame anybody because they know that elections were conducted in a free and free manner. Nothing. You take prime ministers, you take election by and large, unless they have some other grudges or vested interest, they will not question the election. If they are agreed with the election, there is an election petition, they can go after a declaration of results. They are having that authority and you will be fighting the cases as advocate in those courts also. So perception in India about election is so clear. They accept that by and large, elections in our country are conducted in a free and fair manner. Free means freedom for the citizens. Fair means in a fair manner for the political parties or candidates. So they have taken it granted over a period of time after seeing the performance of several commissioners over a period of time, and every commissioner will contribute something for the election process. In every election we watch right from grassroots level what is happening, what are the issues, and what will help election commission to resolve such problems which we have observed. We have powers, any decision we can take. We might have taken some 100 decisions, I don't know how many decisions election commission at federal level or state level we have taken to see that that problem is not there. And our aim is to conduct error-free election. Last election, I think general election, 12 million employees and 1.2 crores of employees participated in the election. The voter strength was 90 crores. So out of 1.23 billions of population, 90 crores were voted last election, and we could conduct with the help of 12 million employees or 1.2 crores. Size of the election, only as an example I am quoting. We can mention something about the voters' turnout. It's on the rise. Every election we are finding that voters' turnout is on the increase. If the size of the constituency is smaller, then voters turnout is very high. If you take Gram Panchayat, it is more than 90 always. As you come above, it can be MPTC, ZPTC, MLA, MP, then it will come down. But in general, women's turnout in the voting has gone up like anything in the recent decades. The problem which is plaguing as well as from the perspective of young voters are not participating. That is a major problem. 40% of, even 30% of young voters, they are not able to participate. We do so many things to spread awareness before election. I have seen last GHMC election because I conducted the election, last election in GHMC. We tried so many things, advertisements, getting bites from celebrities. We tried to do so much work on that, but ultimately the young people failed to turn out. The voting percentage is very low. Once election is declared and polling is there, the citizen in urban area will feel that it's a holiday. They can see the Netflix or films, they can attend to their personal work, they go out on a picnic. So it's a holiday for them. They don't feel that they are citizens of this country and they have a responsibility to elect who will decide their fate for next 5 years. They don't realize even one day they are not able to spare for this. This is a very unfortunate and sad affair because you are all young, you have to think about it. Because election commission alone will not solve the problem. Every stakeholder is involved, entire citizenry involved. This is our responsibility to see that at least we vote. There can be several reasons. Among the candidates available, you choose a better lot. You are not happy with the candidates, okay. But whoever is better, you have to vote not. That is your responsibility. Otherwise, you cannot blame government. Or you cannot blame politicians that, oh, these fellows are like this. You yourself chosen those candidates or MLAs or MPs or ministers. You yourself, you are a party to it. When you are a party, how can you blame anybody? He is like this or she is like this. So this responsibility one must realize. When compared to USA, I feel our elections are better. You know, in USA, 10,000 bodies will conduct elections. 10,000 bodies conduct elections. At county level, there is some body they conduct elections. Some county they do with a ballot box, some county with EVMs. This is totally decentralized. You have seen last election in US. Trump, before elections are over, he declared, let it be whatever is the result, I am the president. There is a system of electoral college. The difference between electoral college and popular vote also is very, very important factor in this. Last time, Hillary Clinton got 48% of popular vote. Trump got only 46%, less than Hillary Clinton, but Trump was elected because of their own electoral college system. Different countries follow different systems. Some countries, they follow biometry. Some countries, you can also have session in the debates proudly, the voting must be made mandatory. But somehow, majority of the intellectuals, they feel compulsion and democracy, they don't go together. You have to persuade them, you have to convince them to see that the level of participation increases. That's why in our country, at least, we have not made this polling or voting as mandatory. We took several steps like sweep, we conducted some campaigns, National Voters Day, only some proactive measure on the part of the Commission, so that in the National Voters Day, whoever is attaining 18 years, we enroll, we prepare photo ID cards and we distribute on that day to the people who have attained majority and try to motivate them to vote in their future elections. Somehow compulsion and democracy, they don't go together. That is the understanding we are having in our country. Any election, we learn. We don't feel that we are the role model election, entire world appreciate us. We are very humble. We learn lessons from every election. We try to make some improvements. I'll mention some, activities taken by the commissions which have helped. Reform is a very broad measure. It's very difficult to differentiate what is reform, what is innovation, what is initiative, what is a practice. It's very, there is only hairline, difference. Sometimes a small, practice may create so much impact, and it helps in better conduct of elections. In challenges, you must have all discussed the role of money power, muscle power, all these dimensions you must have discussed. Misuse of government machinery by the political parties, criminalization of politics and politicization of criminals, non-serious candidates, that is also one issue. Criminal justice, which is there, where we assume that everybody is innocent unless it is proved. This is one of the foundations of our criminal justice system. And what is the problem we might have discussed? The influence of caste, communities, and other maybe language or region. What is their influence on the election we might have discussed? But one thing is sure, degradation in moral values. That much we can say. From time to time, when you compare the 50s and 60s and now, there is a tremendous decrease in moral values of the people, and which has implication for the entire, for every dimension of our society, including elections. The impact of social media, the prevailing fake news, how they create fake news and misguide the citizens. Viral. Some videos they say it has become viral. And nobody takes the veracity of the content, which is true, which is false, very difficult to. And all our young people are accustomed to watching social media, and the impact of social media and fake news. Over a period of time, I think it gets resolved. We are in a transition now. Only in the recent years, we are influenced by social media. But after some time, everybody will realize what is good and what is bad, and what wisdom will prevail. Ultimately, information is there, knowledge is there. There is no depth of information and knowledge in the present society. With a click of mouse, you have everything. Our Google Mata is there. Whatever you want to know, just click it and you have it, including your education. Your system of education also will undergo so much change in the future. Because a teacher coming here, a lecturer coming here, pouring and filling you for mind, that will not serve. It is there already. In your mobile it is there. Top lectures in the world on the subject are readily available. You want any course, you can do in books, Coursera, etc. So many possibilities are there. Now, ChatGPT has come. It is evolving, though now there are imperfections. Over a period of time, it is able to compete with Google and anything you have answer. I'll just mention innovations made by Election Commission of India. In the first election, probably one candidate, one ballot box used to be there. There are 5 boxes. That means for each candidate, 1 box. Then what happened? Already they started putting some ballot papers into this before the election started. Then we have combined 1 common ballot box. Okay, for all the candidates. That's how the reform will start. We have seen something has happened. We have made a ballot box in such a manner that 1 ballot box, several candidates, but 1 ballot paper. 1 box and several ballot papers. After some time, the EVM was introduced. You know the story? EVMs were piloted in Kerala first. Then we have given to ECL and BHEL, they have developed. Then there were a lot of court cases. It has gone to Supreme Court for your interest. Then Supreme Court gave a judgment not finding fault with the initiative, but you amend the law. The RP Act will say, talk about ballot paper. But this is not ballot paper, this is EVM. You amend the law, mention EVM machine, and go ahead with the election. That's how EVMs were introduced. Then in media, even now it's an issue, political parties are blaming EVMs, that it is benefiting a particular political party. But if you really analyze, he has won the election. She will say he has manipulated the EVMs. But suppose she has won the election, then will she blame? That's what is happening in every election. It is happening right from 1988, but whoever has won, okay, they are keeping quiet and opposition is only blaming that it is influence. Then lot of improvements have been done. Some suggestions were given by political parties. Election Commission is such a body. We take into consideration all the stakeholders. Major stakeholders are political parties. If you want to do anything, we call for a political party meeting first. Okay, then we throw the issue open to them. Okay, you give your opinion. Taking them into confidence will take a final. Because why it is questioned, you have voted for X. Okay, it has given some sound, you have gone, okay, as a voter. But you don't know whether vote has really gone to X or why you don't know, isn't it? You wanted to know that you have really voted for X, isn't it? Then we kept a unit on which you can see. For 7 seconds it is visible. Not only that, it will take a printout, small slip, and it will fall into the sealed box. If some complaint is there, later on the election petition they can verify. They can tally the votes in the sealed box and votes shown by the machine. That's how VVPATs has come. So any complaint, any observation, we take into account and try to make improvements. Every election, we make some improvement. That's how we have introduced the photo ID card. That means if somebody carries a voting card, we can prevent the impersonation. Then Sheshan was there. Sheshan asked for money for printing this photo ID card. It's a huge money throughout country. Government said we don't have money. Okay, you have power to give money, isn't it? I have a power to conduct election. I don't conduct election. He has taken a stand. What happened? Narasimha Rao's government was there. He was not elected. And after 6 months he has to get elected and then only he will continue as Prime Minister. So they were forced to give money and that's how photo ID cards came because of Sheshan. History has taken clear. I won't conduct election. You are killing your power. I will exercise my discretion. Then photo electorals have come. Electoral also is having photo. They are very simple for you. But they are not simple issues. There is no scope for complaint. I carried a photo. There is a photo in electoral. You compare, same person has come or not. The polling person sitting there will compare. Everybody will watch. He says yes, it is tallied. Then he is allowed to vote or she is allowed to vote. See, all these things you have taken granted, but they are not the things taken granted. They are the initiatives and innovations taken by different commissions, so that we are giving assurance to the voter that it is a genuine vote. Then one concept, BLO, booth level officer. We have taken to the doorstep of voter. If you want some change, you give it to BO. There is a form he will give you, fill up. You want to get corrected, you give it. Your name is not there, you fill in the form, you give it. You need not go anywhere. He is a small employee, Anganwadi teacher, somebody. We have kept you at the disposal. We have given booth level officer for every polling booth. You can enroll. But that is a major initiative. It's not a small practice. We have made your job easy. Live webcasting. You have heard? Live webcasting. What happened when collector in Arunachal Pradesh has done piloting? Her husband was also collector in the neighboring district. So the polling persons, they take 3 to 4 days to reach the polling station. Some polling stations in India are 1200 kilometers away from the mainland, but 200 kilometers from Indonesia. Such polling stations are also there. They have to work 3 to 4 days, conduct election, they have to come back. Then she thought, suppose election is spoiled, which capturing has taken place. If she has to conduct a repoll, by the time she will know election is over, isn't it? They don't come back. Then she thought about it. She has given one laptop with camera to them. Then connected, sitting in Delhi, she has seen that yes, in 13 polling stations, election was going on. Then Chandrababu went to Election Commission of India. No, you are showing this polling station from distance. I want to see whether polling parties are there and really voting is there. Yes, we'll do it. Now live webcasting means we'll keep cameras in the polling station itself. So whatever is happening throughout day, right from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., whatever is happening, you can see from here, you can see from Delhi, you can see from New York. So we are utilizing technology to such an extent to ensure free and fair election. We have a concept of observers. You have seen observers means political candidates. Now they're afraid of them. Once they send report directly to Election Commission, gone against it, they right. So that concept we have implemented, and to have a very good control, wherever sensitive stations are there, we'll do videography or we'll do live webcasting. Okay? Such measures we have introduced. And we can also appoint micro observer. One fellow will be there, one building, representing commission, he will be going around. Anything is wrong, he will report. So observer at a major constituency level, even micro observer for a sensitive station, so that you can know and give assurance to people that nothing is going to happen. These are various initiatives. Okay. We have increased the age from 21 to 18. Now what is the age limit required to vote? 18 years. We have restricted contesting candidates to only 2. More than 2 constituencies, they cannot contest. After seeing, after gaining experience, they went on taking decisions. We ban opinion polls or exit polls. After some time only we allow. That is also one decision we without, because otherwise it will affect the voting process. By election, yes, 6 months you have to conduct. We have given some time-bound program. Postal ballot papers for these fellows, they can vote by postal ballot paper. They are all innovations, and you can call them reforms. Banning liquor 48 hours before the end of the poll. Then using arms within the boundary of polling station is also prohibited. Then there is a cap on expenditure. MPR can spend only this much, MLA can spend only this much. Model code is also very interesting thing. It is evolving. Now our suggestion is model code is only advisory as of today. Okay? But by and large, we have taken political parties into conference and started implementing model code. Now, suggested reform, which you can remember, that we need a statutory backing for model code. This is one suggestion in the reforms I want to give. I am suggesting 4 or 5 things you can note down if you are writing a paper on reforms or something like that, which Election Commission wants. We want a cap on expenditure made by party. On candidate there is a ceiling, but party there is no ceiling as and date. state funding of election. This is also one debatable issue. They have introduced bonds, but nobody, who has given that bond, it is not clear. Which party has taken, how much they have taken, it's not, there is no transparency, only government knows. So that also has to be streamlined. Corporate funding, we have had corporate funding also. Then, suppose we file cases. Then what is happening? The election is conducted by, we call it returning officer for every constituency, isn't it? Suppose some case is filed, the returning officer is a gazetted headmaster in some village, Bichara. He has conducted and doing his job in that village. He has to come all the way attend the court. It's very different now. And these are the issues in dealing with the cases filed. And only 6% cases are proved, that's all. Wherever cases have been filed, our analysis shows only 6% cases it is proved, because he is not taking, nobody is interested. Once election is over, nobody will do follow. Everybody forgets. Somebody will manage at some level and everybody forgets it. As a result, you don't know.